I'm beginning to be aware of the time, Professor. I know we have to wrap up soon. So my last question goes back to your when you were remembering the 1930s and how you said the times there were in your childhood were of optimism and how to build a future that we can all strive towards. And it seems that in today's conversations, in today's political climate, and in today's society, the conversations are how can we become more divided, and how can we really not be optimistic into the future, be more of a having more of a dystopian vision. So, Professor, my last question for you is, how do you think we can reconcile our differences in the American society, in this bipartisan environment that we are on, and how can we get back to that optimist perspective, optimistic vision of the future?
I think we know exactly how to do it. If you go back to the Obama years, not very far, the message was hope and change. We can do it. Brought in a lot of people. A lot of the working class that's now voting for Trump was voting for Obama. Took the words seriously. The words seriously. The actions didn't coincide with the words. The actions were betray people, tell them this is just rhetoric. You voted for me, now go home. I'll continue working for the rich and powerful. Well, what's the answer? Take it seriously and do it. Can be done. I mean, a lot of things can be done. Let's take the financial crisis, 2008. Let's be concrete. One of the things that happened was that the government virtually nationalized the auto industry, which was collapsing. The government took it over. What did they do? Bailed out. The owners put them back in their positions, maybe new faces, but the same class, and set them to redoing what they had been doing, producing more automobiles, more SUVs. There was an alternative. Hand it over to the workforce. Hand it over to the communities. Let it be run by the people and workers in Detroit, not rich bankers in New York. Have them produce things that the country needs, like mass transportation, not more SUVs. You know, that was a possibility. Wasn't thought about because we were not organized, active, militant enough to make that an issue. Okay, let's do it. Let's make it an issue. Let's say, yes, these things are possible. That's one example. There's 1,000 more examples. Another example is take over the fossil fuel industries. In fact, you could even buy them at market prices. The government could, and it wouldn't be more than the bailouts for the financial industry. Turn them to sustainable energy, which can be done. Actually, the workforce is even interested. West Virginia, coal state, United Mine Workers has accepted a transition program. My friend and colleague, Robert Pollan, he and his group, Perry Group, have been working on this in the ground. Working class people have said, okay, we can imagine moving to a transition program away from coal towards capping the mines, developing sustainable energy, better jobs, better communities, better life. The coal baron representative, Joe Manchin, he doesn't want to hear about it. Of course, the fossil fuel industries don't want to hear about it. But these things are on the verge of possibility. And there's many more like them. You can think case after case. Well, the hope, the reason to be optimistic is there are these opportunities. Can it be achieved? Who knows? Can't tell until you try. It's like negotiations in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. You don't try, nothing will happen. You do try, maybe it'll fail, maybe it'll succeed. Same with everything else.
Professor, thank you. Thank you for that answer and for this enlightening conversation. I'm sure our listeners will find it very insightful as the previous ones. And I'm looking forward to having this conversation more in the future and getting to get your insights into our world, ourselves, and how to become more optimistic and also active in building our society to the better. So, Professor, again, thank you so much for joining me.
Very glad to be with you.